Hey folks, there's a question that's on a lot of people's minds right now, and that is the new skill Groundballer and whether or not it is any good. And fortunately, with the tournament just starting, we actually have some data to go off of. Not a tremendous amount, but it's interesting to see what the behavior of the skill within the power ranking tournament was. So when we take a look at the teams that are in the quarterfinals, you'll find that there are three teams with a ground baller starting pitcher, those being CJ Christ, Siberia North, and Taiwan Snoopy. So what I did is I took the time to break down how those pitchers performed in their games leading up to and including the quarterfinal matches. And so some interesting things from there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the data first of all. And the cumulative data shows one thing, but then I'm going to flip back to the actual results and you'll see something to try and point out as well. You can see that overall the performance of the skill was not too bad. CJ Christ obviously got the best out of it, but interestingly enough, he did not have the highest infield OVR. All the teams had close to 150 or above, and the team with the highest infield OVR actually had the poorest performance out of his. The top two teams, CJ Christ and Siberia North, made it past the quarterfinals into the semifinals, and Taiwan Snoopy did not. And I would attribute that to, you can see that CJ Christ and Siberia North both had home wins that they were able to achieve using Groundballer, while Taiwan Snoopy's Groundballer did not achieve any home wins throughout all of his games, and ultimately he got booted out of the quarterfinals. So that would be a testament to two things. One, Groundballer actually can win home games, which is a big thing because in general, away games, you're going to see a much higher win rate. And you can see this with 10 wins in the away games versus 2 losses overall. That's a very high record. But in home games, getting 5 wins overall is actually pretty good. So I'm going to say this skill is completely viable based on the data that we have so far. And when we flip back to the actual game results and we take a look at Taiwan Snoopy's performance with his Groundballer pitcher, that being Ron Guidry, when Siberia North faced him in this game in Guidry, he didn't score a ton of runs. It was a close game, so it's not like Guidry was selling the farm and completely blowing the games. He still performed well. Ultimately, he didn't get the win. Now, I must note that I did not do proper assessment of wins and whether or not who got the actual decision. So when I went on these and I recorded the wins and losses, this is purely whether or not the end outcome of the game was a win or a loss. There are some cases where the Groundballer pitcher did not actually get the decision. So I don't have insight into that. I did watch all the videos to attempt to attribute where the runs were from, but I couldn't get enough data to support who actually got the decision. But hopefully you find this information. Let me flip back to the data so we can close out the video with the data, and you can just inspect this at the end of the video if you'd like. But overall, I'd say it's looking like Groundballer is a viable skill. Now, note, these are high infield OVRs. Most of the teams that I looked at, we're talking infielders with a fielding OVR of minimal 115, but most were actually 125 and above, with first base being the weak spot, and all three teams are around 115 for the fielding OVR for the first base. Now, one final note about this. This pitching skill is going to pair well with people who are starting to use 5-tool, in particular on Supremes on the infield. So if you have infielders, try and get them with 5-tool to boost up your infield OVR and get the maximum benefit out of this skill. So for me, if I get it, I'm going to go ahead and use it, and I wish everybody luck in their ranked. Please give me some feedback. The feedback has been helping with get my videos up in the ranking, so I appreciate any comments that you add, and good luck, everybody. Thanks. Bye.